Do you enjoy decorating for Valentine's Day, but you often find the decor looks kind of cartoony and doesn't really match your home's aesthetic? Well, you're not alone. Hi and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brianna and I'm glad you're here. In today's video, I'm going to share with you how I decorated my home in neutral Valentine's decor, but keeping it stylish and elegant and also budget friendly. As always, I start by shopping my own home first to see if there's some things that I can repurpose. Then I hit the thrift shop to find some unique finds, and then finished up at a few of my favorite stores. My goal is always to create a beautifully created look without breaking the bank. So let's get started. For my living room mantle, I want to keep things really simple. I created this wood heart garland using a pack of affordable hearts I found with some string, and then I put a ribbon here for a romantic touch. This driftwood heart is a gift from a dear friend from years ago, and it's something I treasure and I love displaying every Valentine's season. After the holidays, I refreshed all of my decorations for a fresh and clean look. You can check out that video link, I'll put it above. While thrifting last week, I found this chunky knit blanket. It was a steal. It was $8, but it was originally $180 at Macy's. I just love how much warmth and texture it gives to the space, plus it's incredibly soft. In my scallop bowl, I added this heart chain I found at Hobby Lobby. It was great because everything was 40% off. So the next two pieces aren't exactly neutral home decor, but I love it because I feel like it adds just a little bit of playfulness. This heart hand sculpture was a gift. I actually borrowed it from my daughter's room. And speaking of my girls, I also snagged their pink disco ball. When the sun hits it just right, the entire room turns it so dreamy and magical, and my kids absolutely love it. One of my favorite Valentine's Day traditions is something my mom started a long time ago when I was little, our Valentine Note Love Tree. Every year my kids help me create one, and which makes it even more special. This year I found this cute fluted jar at Dollar General for just $5. It's perfect for this project or maybe even as a candy jar. I could not get the sticker off for the life of me, so I had to use a hairdryer and some Goo Gone to get it all the way off. To anchor the branches, I used some Vace filler. It not only looks pretty, but also helps keep everything in place. Then my girls helped me cut out tons of paper little hearts. I used a little pattern, that way each of them looked uniform, and then I glued one heart on one side and then glued one on the other to kind of cover it up and make it look nice. For hanging the love notes, I like to use fishing line, that way it keeps it looking neat. If you use like white string, when the notes aren't on there, it looks a little bit messy. So here's how it works. Each night we pick one person and everyone writes 2 notes about what they love the most about them. Then we roll them up and we tie them on the tree. Then every night leading up to Valentine's Day at bedtime after devotions, that person gets to read their notes aloud. Words of affirmation are so powerful, and this simple tradition makes everyone feel so loved leading up to Valentine's Day. Now onto my absolute favorite project from this whole video. It was the most time consuming, but it was totally worth it. I found this heart-shaped wooden bowl and decided to make these felt X's and O's to use as a bowl filler. I picked up this bowl from Hobby Lobby and it was on sale, and then I went to go find some felt. Make sure when you buy felt you get the thicker kind. It's more towards the bottom. That way they'll be a little bit more sturdy. I made the hugs and kisses patterns on a cereal box. That way they're nice and uniformed. When I made the X's, I made sure they're the exact same size as the O's too, in diameter, and then I made them an inch thick. Then I just transferred them onto the felt and cut them out. I thought I'd save some time and see if I could hot glue them together instead of sewing, but this was a total flop. The glue was uneven, the stuffing kept popping through, but look at what a difference it made when I sewed it. It was so cute. So the stitch that I used here is called a blanket stitch. So you want to start with some embroidery floss and then just start with 3 threads, tie a nice knot, then slide your knot in between to hide it to get it started, and then you'll just want to sew it through first and then pull it through the last loop. So again, you'll want to come from behind and then pull it through but not all the way, and then catch that last piece, and it kind of continues it over. This gives your felt pieces a nice finished edge. It's also really important to try to make your stitches the exact same size so they're nice and even. Continue this all the way around, and then you'll want to leave a small opening, then fill it with some polyfill or cotton balls. This took me about 3 hours to make 6 pieces. Kind of brought me back to my childhood memories. I loved doing handcrafts as a kid. If you're enjoying this video or found any of these ideas helpful, feel free to give it a like. It really helps others discover my channel. And if you're new here, I'd love it if you could subscribe so you could be a part of my YouTube family. We'd be glad to have you. I had some pink chiffon ribbon, so I tied it on the love note jar. It gives it just a nice little elegant touch. I also love using digital artwork on YouTube art channels to kind of brighten up my space. My next project was super quick and easy. I found these bowl filler yarn hearts from Hobby Lobby. I feel like this would be an easy project to make on your own, but I do know to buy yarn that thick is actually pretty pricey, and with these being on sale, I think it was cheaper to just buy them this way, plus it was so much easier. So I simply just put it on a thick piece of string and threaded it on there. Now the trick is you want to make sure and pull all the way to the top, that way the hearts hang evenly. Then I just tied them onto the cart, instant charm with very minimal effort. And of course, no Valentine decor is complete without a little candy. I got another one of these fluted jars. This one's clear from Dollar General, and I have been keeping it stocked with heart-shaped lollipops. I also picked up this small heart dish at Goodwill, and I filled it with dark chocolates for the adults in the house. Speaking of Goodwill, I also found this adorable tiered tray. I added florals to it, but you could do anything. You could do candy or mini cupcakes. It would be super cute. I had this eucalyptus garland, so I just popped off a few of the branches, as well as some roses from the Dollar Tree and a few pieces of baby's breath from this garland that I had. It's nice because whatever you don't use, you can just pot back on your garland and you don't have to waste anything. I feel like this tiered tray is definitely giving off vintage vibes. I love mixing modern and vintage together. So for my very last project, I wanted to create a concrete heart sculpture dupe. So I found this heart box from Michael's and I just needed the base. You've probably seen this baking soda paint trick everywhere, but it's popular for a reason. It looks amazing. I was out of acrylic paint, so I used some leftover paint that I had from a sample. So you want to just pour enough on there and then mix some baking soda in it. This is what gives it a stone-like texture. This trick works beautifully on vases and pottery too. So keep this in mind. I've actually done this to several of my favorite pieces that I have. So if you ever go to Goodwill and maybe see something you like the shape of but not the color, you can just easily transform it. Now just a few more finishing touches. I have a set of swans, but I just used 2 of them and put them on a mirror tray. I think they just look so cute as little lovebirds. Then on the other side of my china cabinet, I added this floral arrangement with pink roses that I think tie in perfectly to the fireplace. I think it works nicely too with my husband's grandma's vintage plate. Then in the bathroom, I found this lovely pink enamel dish. I also added some magnolia flowers in my vase. It just adds a little touch of romance. And lastly, adding this dollar bead garland to my wreath makes the entrance just a little more fun. I hope you you enjoyed watching today's video. Let me know in the comments below maybe what you liked and you're gonna try in your own home. I'd love to hear from you. Also, feel free to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. And if you like this video, I think you might like my next video where I show you how I redecorated my home after the holidays, giving it a fresh and clean look. So feel free to check it out and I'll see you over there. Bye!